Hey, good morning everybody, and welcome to today's vlog post here at Reckless Pixel Images. Good morning. It's beautiful. I say morning because it's a beautiful morning. It's about closer to 10 o'clock right now, but I was out at 6 o'clock this morning. I had some local errands to run, and it was beautiful. Beautiful summer morning, clear blue sky here in western New Jersey. So, I have a state highway in front of me, and it makes a lot of noise, but on Sunday mornings it's relatively peaceful. And right across the street from me, to give you the setting of where I'm at, is a little country church. And if I'm home at 9:30 on a Sunday morning, which I rarely am, but if I'm home at 9:30, they pull the rope and they ring the bell. And so many of the churches today around here, they have the pre-recorded PA system, which starts off with 10 seconds of static, and then you hear the music, and it's usually pipe organ music or something. It's not a bell anymore. So anyway, they pull the rope and they ring the bell kind of slowly, and they ring it for a while, and it's just so, I don't know, just kind of makes you step back, and it sounds so cool. And the traffic's not busy at that time, so you get to hear it. So anyway, I heard that, and I can't really catch it in the sound of the video, or I do the video at that time, but because I got the lavalier mic to cut out the sound of traffic and air conditioning in the building. Anyway, so today's vlog post is about perspective. And it's one of the rules of composition, and is perspective, and one of the basic rules, I guess you would say, of composition. So I have a catering business, as you know, is another business that I have besides the photography. I've had the catering for a long time, and midweek I was out doing a catering job. We were actually on location roasting a pig, and I didn't know what the occasion was. I didn't really question it. It was a Thursday evening event, and it was at a house. So I just figured, okay, it's a Thursday evening dinner party type thing. It was in an affluent neighborhood, and affluent people tend to, have Thursday evening type stuff. But it turned out what it was a wedding rehearsal party. And so anyway, I broke my rule of always having my camera with me. I procrastinated, and I didn't take my big DSLR because I didn't really think there would be anything interesting. And I said, why take the camera out in the hot, humid weather if I don't have to? And I didn't. So I didn't even have the point and shoot with me. This is actually my wife's point and shoot. This is a Canon G15. It's a few years old, good camera, but I like to take this. I have a point and shoot as well. I didn't have either of the point and shoots, but all I was stuck with was cell phone camera. And if you've read my blog post in the past, you know how much I dislike cell phone cameras, mobile phone camera, for its creativity, lack of creativity. You can get creative with them, but you got to sit there and play with the screen and do all that just stupid kind of stuff. When even if I have this point and shoot, if I want to change ISO, it's right here. If I want to change and go to macro, it's right here. Everything is right here or here. It's all within fingers, thumbs reach, without going through prompts on a screen and playing with that kind of stuff. So that's why I dislike camera phones, mobile phone cameras, wherever you want to call them. But this was all I had, and you got to go with the camera that you have. So this is a HTC A9. It does shoot raw, pathetically, but I was told about 2 hours before the serving time there was going to be a hot air balloon at the location, and that's when I went into photographer mode, and I said, okay, I want to get at least one interesting image from that, and maybe even a short piece of interesting video to put up on my Instagram for my catering business. So I didn't know. They said they're going to lift off in the backyard. Now, just to give you the gist of, I live here in Hunterdon County, New Jersey, and us residents of Hunterdon County, most of us, especially lifelong residents like me, we are very familiar with hot air balloons. We see them all the time when it's balloon season, and we're very, it's interesting. But when people, and that was the whole reason the gentleman was having it at the party, people were coming to this wedding rehearsal from all over the country, and some of them just never get to see hot air balloons, especially close up and personal. So he thought it would be a novel thing, and it was. But anyway, I had to go into photographer mode, and I said, I know everybody's going to stand there and they're going to do the crazy thing. They're going to get their mobile phones out and they're just going to, stand there and take pictures. And you can't really capture the whole balloon unless you stand way back. And it's kind of hard to get a good balloon shot. And if you take the picture of the balloon up in the air, all you have is just a balloon with the sky behind it. So we got to make it somehow interesting. And I give you the setting. Okay, so I'm roasting a pig. It's in typical backyard in a typical neighborhood in New Jersey. We call them developments and big McMansion, as we call them, kind of houses, that type of thing. But they had a backyard that was kind of open, and I was down in the corner closer to the driveway, just off of the driveway. And for whatever reason, very poor planning on their part, when I took the pig out, which is a big focus of the event, but that also this hot air balloon is a big focus, I started to carve the pig, and that's when the hot air balloon pilot just decided that he was going to start, to set the balloon up. Maybe that was prearranged, I don't know. But anyway, so he kind of stole my thunder, which I wasn't too upset about, because it gets the crowd away from me, and I can just do my work, have my assistants with me. So we keep on carving, but I stop at some point because I say, I want to take a photo of this balloon to put on my social media for my catering website, because I have Instagram and websites and stuff like that. So I get my camera out and I look, and then I say, oh, this is so easy. Here's a good shot right here. And now you're going to see it. I'm going to look at it here so I can comment on it, but you're going to see it on screen. So I took a couple shots before this, but this one was kind of cool. And actually, while I was trying to capture this shot, one of the bad ones that you won't see is the host running, and he ran right in front of my camera. But as he ran in front of my camera, he realized I was taking a photo, and he came back and he seen me bent down and hunched down in this weird position next to my table. And then he got down with me, and he's like, gets his phone, and he's like, oh, Rich, this is the best. He's like, this is a great shot, because it has, the pig there, it has the balloon, it shows the blue sky, it even has the tent, and it's got some of the people, and it just kind of captured the whole, what was going on in that backyard at that time. So he snapped a couple shots of it, and I told him as he stood up, I said, you're going to have the most interesting photo of anybody, because all the people you see further away in the photo, and there's a bunch of them, I don't know if you can see, that are over there under the tent kind of, everybody's got their phones out and they're all just taking picture, and all they're really getting is a picture of the people getting in the basket. And that's fine, you're documenting that, but you're not really getting the full gist of what can really tell the story here. So in this case, it's just a simple cell phone shot, but it does tell a story. And for my social media for the catering business, it told a story. People got to see, wow. And right after I took that shot, then I switched over and I took the 15 or 20 seconds of video, maybe a little longer, to also be able to put up on social media, which kind of told the shot too. You get to hear the roar of the balloon burner as it's firing up and stuff like that. So it's just something to think about. Perspective. There's many rules of composition, not many, but there's a few basic ones. You have rule of thirds, and you have the rule of odds, and you've got leading lines, and perspective. Perspective being, take it from a location. In this case, I had to hunch down, and it was If I went down on my knee, it was too far. If I stood up, it was too high. So I had to get in this hunched position kind of to be just right and to get that shot. So, but do it. Do it. Don't be afraid to assess the situation, even if you are shooting with cell phone camera. But if you're going to shoot with a cell phone camera, at least get an interesting image. That's the whole thing. So here you get an interesting image. If I would have done it with the DSLR, what I probably would have done is I would have focused on the balloon and that pig in the foreground. I would have went with an aperture setting that just blurred that down a little bit, or vice versa. I would have went maybe focused on the pig and just a little bit of bokeh of what's going on in the background. But either way, for a cell phone shot, not too bad. So there you go. That's your food for thought for today. If you're going to be out shooting something, no matter what it is, put some thought into it. You don't have to be a professional photographer to put thought into it. It's just an amateur photographer with a little point and shoot with a cell phone camera. You can capture a very interesting image. And in today's world where everybody has a phone and you're with a group of people like the host was, and he's going to have the best photo out of everybody. There was nobody else came back there and took a photo from where I was. So you could do that too, to get that perspective going. Stop taking selfies and, take a picture of something that's interesting. I mean, I could do a whole blog post on how uninteresting a selfie is. Now, with that said, of course, I've taken selfies. We've all taken selfies. But sometimes we take a selfie with ourselves in front of something to document we're here, or with this person or something like that. But when you're just standing there taking a selfie of yourself in your bedroom, in front of your mirror, day in, day out, 3 times, 10 times a day in, day out, might say that you have a problem. So anyway, because it's a beautiful day, I am going to get back out later today and shoot some film. I'm looking for my other film cameras, but this is not, I'm going to shoot with this one. What do we got in this one today? We got Kodak T-Max 100. So for the bright sunlight, this will be good. And I'm trying to think. I got my other Pentax. This is the ME. I got the Spotmatic, and the Spotmatic's got some good film in it. Some 50 ISO that I want to get out. And today's nice and bright. I got a lot of light. So okay, everybody, check me out on social media. I'm on Instagram as Lens Wizard, and I'm on Facebook as Reckless Pixel and Lens Wizard, and I got my website. I'm on Twitter. Check me out. If you like the YouTube channel, you can subscribe. It's very early in its stages, and I'm populating it now. So you might want to subscribe to it, and you'll see the new stuff that's coming in, because I have a project coming up with a really awesome model. I'm not going to say who it is right now, but I've shot with her before. And she's one of my favorites, and she approached me. I approached her with said, give me an idea, and she came back with an idea, and it was a pretty cool idea. And what I'd like to do, now that I have the YouTube channel up, is I would like to actually do a video showing the progress of how that whole project was put together. Not a behind the scenes video, but a video of how we went from the email back and forth, her sending me the images that she wanted to portray, more of a mood board type thing, and then what gear that I decide to use. And I actually got to do some test shots before I even go and shoot this, because I haven't used this technique before. So there is why you're doing a personal project. It's going to hone things down and get things better. But it's her idea, and the last idea that she came up with for a shoot was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. So I don't know if we can top that last one, but this one is we're going to give it a shot. But I would just like to kind of document. I always put up behind the scenes stuff, but I never really put up anything yet of this is how I put this whole project together, and this was the end result. This image or images, and this is what we done. And that's what I think a lot of people hear me talk about personal projects, but they don't really realize that there's a lot of work involved in even some of the simplest personal project. So we're already in this case, we've been going back and forth with emails now, and this has been going on for quite some time. I want to say, several weeks. So it doesn't just happen instantly. It never does, at least for me. There's time issues, scheduling issues, and you got to find hair and makeup and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's coming up in the future. Click subscribe, check me out on social media. It's a beautiful day. Get outside and use some perspective for your composition and just take an interesting photo. Okay, everybody, have a good day, and thanks for stopping in and checking me out. Ciao.